We are gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears as we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories.
You shouldn't ever try to bring back the dead. It's against nature's laws. It is not recommended. If you don't listen and break the law, then prepare yourself for the consequences you will pay. Because Mother Nature and the universe don't play. It's okay to mourn for the dead, but let them stay where they lay. Let them move on. Let them be on their way. But if you choose not to let them go, then you will take their place. Our world is based on the universal law of balance, no matter how things end good or tragic. So if you feel a need to play God, you need to remember this. The universal laws are not to be messed with. The true definition of madness is a state of frenzied and chaotic activity. It's a state of mind I now find myself to be. All I can think about is mayhem, violence, damage, and chaos. I have an urge to inflict my rage onto everyone. You won't want to cross my path, because if you do, you will suffer my wrath. All I can see is the color red, with all these disturbing visions in my head. I fall to my knees and I try to pray it away. I pray to God to make it okay. But it seems he's not listening to me, because praying doesn't set my mind at ease. I can't even close my eyes to sleep, just so I can have a moment of peace. I try to work and create something with my hands, because idle hands are the devil's playground, but it's not enough. I need to destroy. I just feel so freaking mad. So I began to break everything I get my hands on, till my anger now subsides, until it's all gone. Now the madness has retrieved, dormant deep inside of me. But it will be back one day, because it's an aggressive disease. I want to be a god, to have power over my enemies, to strike them down if they don't obey me, for them all to fall upon their knees, for my enemies to be in awe of my awesomeness, to quiver and shake to beg me for forgiveness, please. But I won't, because they don't deserve my love and understanding. I won't give them any chances. And why should I? They didn't do it for me, so why should I give them a reprieve? I know this might sound cruel, but an eye for an eye. Isn't that not the rule? You can look at me as a fiend, if that is what you want to believe. Yes, you can say I would be a petty god, and it may seem as if I have no heart. If you are not my enemy, you would have nothing to fear. You wouldn't have a reason to be scared. As long as you do good work, and you don't cause pain, chaos, and hurt, then I will not be a problem to you. But for my enemies, they would be screwed.
This is just a friendly reminder to please like and comment to let us know how we are doing so far. We would love to hear from you all. And if you're new, please subscribe and become a part of the PHS crew. And we thank you.
I'm lost in between dimensions and time. I'm a traveler, and I seem to have lost my way home. I can no longer follow the signs. It's been many moons since I last saw a familiar face. A world that I know to be my own. A recognizable time and place. I was a young lad when I discovered time travel. I have always yearned to explore faraway marvels. Now the time has come for me to settle down. A time for me to be homebound. But I only have myself to blame for my nomadic wandering of places you see in your dreams. From heavenly, ethereal, colorful paradise to oppressive, dark, desolate hellscapes, such vast extremes. But I've seen enough bizarre and exotic locations to fill 1 billion lifetimes. Now I no longer ache to roam. I want to find the pathway home, to have peace of mind. But at last I feel like I'm doomed to continue to wander through time and space, to never see my home again, to never see my family and friends. I have lost base. Just a lost traveler to time. How I wish I could rewind, and to find the world where I belong, because like they say, there's no place like home. A man showed up as we closed. He wanted a sandwich, but I was ready to go. He asked me, "Please let me in." I told him, "No, we're closed. That's not happening." I could see through the window he was mad. I didn't care. I started to laugh. He said, "If you don't let me in, then you'll regret it. So let me in, or I'll take your store apart brick by brick." You can believe it. I stood my ground and said, "No, you need to leave or I'm going to call the police." He said, "That was the wrong move, and now your sandwich shop, you will lose." Suddenly, the paint started to crack on my shop walls. The condiments and soda started to shake and fall. I could feel the shop starting to move off its foundation. Everything is now violently shaking. Suddenly, all the activity came to a stop. Then, it went completely silent. I could hear a pin drop. And then I saw him out of the shop window as he took in a really deep breath. And he let it out with all of his might and strength, blowing out the store windows and door. They were gone. They were no more. He stepped in the shop and said, "I asked you nicely to open the door, but you told me no. That's bad customer service. So rude. You are fortunate today. All I want to eat is food." Something black and inky was washed up from the sea, landing in the sand on the beach. It looked like an oily jellyfish covered in goo, or something you see on a tissue. It's all I can compare it to. When I found it lying there, I thought it was dead. But it wasn't. It was just plain pretend. I walked up to it and poked it with a stick. Suddenly, a strange, fishy, smelly liquid shot out that stank. It splashed, covering me with a slimy texture that was rank. My eyes started to burn. I could feel my skin heating up and getting hotter. My skin started to blister and bubble. It felt like I was on fire. But that was the beginning of my troubles. Suddenly my skin started to fall off. I started to melt into a puddle. All I could think, I'm turning into this mucus, oily jellyfish thing. Is it possible that it was once a human being? Now here we are, 2 blobs lying on the beach, waiting for the next human being that is filled with curiosity.